We are getting down to the business end of the day now. All of the winners' qualification matches are in the books. It just remains to be seen who will complete the last 64 lineup. While you're away, while we're on that break between matches, we have had one more result. And it was a comprehensive victory for Chang Yulong. He defeated Francesco Candela 9-2. So Fitim Haridinaj against Eklund Kachi. That's yet to begin. Obviously, the match we're going to be concentrating on now hasn't started yet. Kostas Koukiadakis against Joshua Filler. Match is underway. John Morra leads Duong Kok Wang 2-0. What a tough one to call on table 5. Max Lechner against Anton Raga. First blood drawn by Lechner there. Tobias Bongers leads Yuma Dorner in an all-German affair. Lin Ta Li has a comprehensive 6-1 lead over peer Francesco Garcia. Matthias Snigotsky has taken the first rack from James Aranas. Lu Hei Chan 7-3 up on Ian Pikenyak. It's 4-all Mickey Kraus and Naoki Oi. Oi coming here direct from winning the Helsinki Open in Finland. Shane Walford 7-3 up on Nicholas Tan. Tan's had some good wins so far at the European Open. Perhaps the most notable being over Mieszko Fortunski. We saw Gary Wilson narrowly lose to Shane Van Boning. Well, now he's 3-2 down against Lee Ri Teng. Elliot Sanderson. How unlucky was he? It was Hill. And Nick Malai fluked the 8 ball, added the 9 to win 9-8. That's why Sanderson's on the loser's side, but he is 2-0 up on Bada Alawadi. Mikola Moroz, 2-all with Simon Corral. Michael Feliciano, 6-5 on Ramazan Akdag. Adam Stankovic and Georgi Georgiev, 2-2. Ioniuski is 7-5 up on Guo Hoshan Wei. Another tough match to call on table 4. Dennis Grabber has a narrow 6-5 lead over Hubert Lopotko of Poland. Ricardo Goodjar, he leads Tim de Ruyter 7-5. And Labino Marcage, he's doubling up on New Zealand's Sullivan Clark at 6-3. That's your very latest scores. So now, after that very surprising defeat for Joshua Filler against Mustafa Alda, he was beaten 9-3 if you're just joining us, and he was 8-0 down, in danger of an extraordinary whitewash. That was averted, but not defeat. Well, now Joshua Filler takes on Kostas Koukiadakis, one of 15 Greek players in the draw for this tournament. I'm joined by Carl Boyce for this one. Will Filler just bounce back, brush it away as though nothing happened?
You kind of feel like that's what may happen, but it's not always the case, is it? He knows he's under pressure. He wants to be here come single elimination tomorrow. He usually is. Just one match to decide if he'll be here or not.
There's an unfamiliar figure out there, the referee, Johann Bolhorst, a German who is based in Berlin. Just chatting away to Koukiadakis before we get underway. So Filler, after winning his first 2 matches very easily, he whitewashed Sebastian Rudik 9-0, then overcame Christian Sadea 9-3 on this table. Suddenly, he was heavily defeated by Mustafa Alner. As for Koukiadakis, he made the worst possible start, lost his first match 9-7 to Mahmoud Ibrahim Sharif. Since then, though, 3 victories. 8-2, 8-5, 8-4. Pool in Greece is a very popular pursuit. And if Koukiadakis could win this match, it would be big news for the pool community over there. Here we go with the lag. It's going to be Fillers, and he will want to make a much better start than against Mustafa Alner.
Well, we're going to start this match off with a dry break. Wasn't the worst hit break. You could see the one ball hit the top jaw. Longish one ball hit. Position on the blue too looks pretty ordinary. Short cue will be coming out. He is well hooked behind the 9 ball.
These two fighting to be in single elimination tomorrow, but effectively they're already there. Lose and that's it. Now let's see if Filler can sparkle on home soil. The 2 was the priority. And the angle on the 3 call, not too clever.
No, it's one of them where you got to make sure you find the right side of the pocket here in the centre, sort of far jawish, and he's got to really thump this ball. He's got to get it swinging round the table. And see how hard he's had to hit it.
And that's one of the benefits of a quick table. You can make the journey. Not out of the woods, though.
No, he's just looking, can he float in with left and stay on the 5, or will he risk just rolling the cue ball into the 9? But this is the shot now. This is the big shot of the rack. Yeah, he done really well there. He got so much out of the cue ball. The angle looked quite steep. I thought he may have gone forward in between the gap here, rolling the cue ball towards the 7, but he's coming round 2 rails to try and land in the gap. It's quite a big gap looking at that, but you still have to find it. Yeah, centre of the table. Lovely shot. Zoning in, isn't he? He knows how important the start of this match is. It's the same in any match, but when you're in that losers qualification match, try and make sure you get off to a good start if you get the opportunities.
Nicely done. My question to you, Carl, will Filler's defeat in his previous match sharpen his concentration?
I think he may just stay a little longer down on the shot. Without a doubt.
Well, nothing against Koukiadakis, but it would be a shame, wouldn't it? Especially given the location of the tournament, if Fulda wasn't involved in the last 64 on day 4. He's the big hero of German pool. This is a country that's produced so many great players. Ralf Suke, Oliver Ortmann, Torsten Homan, and of course, Joshua Fulda. What a career record he's putting together. And he's still only 26 years of age.
Cue ball was going to flirt with the side, you know.
By and large today, when players have made the one ball, not just today, but I think throughout the week so far, the 2 has been entirely uncooperative.
Yeah, we've seen it with SVB against Gary Wilson. First half of the match, couldn't get a look on the lowest ball. Second half, he did okay.
Now this is a part of Joshua Fulda's game that often gets overlooked, underestimated. It's a department of the game in which he's improving all the time.
Yeah, we're going to say he's not struggling with the pace of the table, is he? That was played inch perfect. Can he go just after the left centre pocket, 2-rail kick in behind it, try and play a bit of a kick and stick? Is that on? Maybe just before it with loads of spin?
Anything but no contact at all. Anything.
Yeah, we know how important it is to make sure you hit the ball. Good things can happen when you're getting out of snookers. The worst thing you could ever do is miss the ball. How's the pace here? Well, I'll tell you how the pace is, Phil. It's unbelievable.
Not quite on a dime, but certainly on a quarter.
Yeah, using the couple of balls there, the 8 and green 6, just to hold cue ball for position. No, one thing, if Fulda does go on to win this match, I know it's still very early days, of course, but there'll be a few eager eyes when the draw's made to see where he lands.
with him, a 30-second shot clock is no hindrance whatsoever. He took his time out early in this rack to basically strategize how he was going to make this run out.
It's gone a little bit wrong, that though. He didn't put as much side on as he wants, so he's got quite a steep angle. The cue ball's coming away from him. He might have to load this. 2 rails. He's going to pump it in. Yeah, this is good. Very good. Don't stress how tricky that shot is.
When Koukiadakis failed to escape from that hook, he just sensed that Fulda might clear. He played one very precise positional shot, and after that, 2-0 was beckoning. Now, when you consider the year he's had, for most people it would be a career year. For him, it's, I suppose, ho-hum. It started off, when I use the word brilliantly, that's no overstatement. At the Derby City Classic, he won the Banks tournament, the 9-ball. He was third in one pocket, so consequently he won the Master of the Table. He also won the Bigfoot Challenge there. It was a very lucrative visit. Then loads and loads of high place finishes. And his other tournament win was in Dubai. Straight after the World Championship, he won the Night Shot 9-ball Open, a World 9-ball Tour ranking event. So it's been a good year for Fulda. But he's so talented, there's no way he'll be satisfied.
Troublesome 2-ball again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a recurring theme. The two tantalising.
Yeah, you could hear him tut then, couldn't you? You knew he was going to crash into the 6-ball.
Well, with plenty of balls to hide behind and the opportunity to separate the 2 and the cue ball, Koukiadakis, as he shakes his head, he knows he should have done better than that. One of those shots, Carl, where he can't risk too thin a contact, because if he were to miss it completely, once again the rack would fall very much into Fulda's hands.
Yeah, all the balls look like they're in the open. I think he can just go above the purple 5 with a little bit of right English. If he hits it full, 2-ball might hit the 8-ball and stay down table though. He's hit it quite thin, but I think he's left it.
Filler like a greyhound out of his seat. Should be connecting the dots here.
Yeah, he looks so composed, doesn't he?
I think that defeat by Mustafa Alner, if you said it was a shock to the system, that would be exaggeration. But maybe it was a wake-up call. On the main match table, it's a 30-second shot clock. 1 30-second extension allowed per player per rack. And you might think, well, why take it here? Well, what I would say to you is, why not? If it's available, if it's in the locker, use it. Slight element of doubt in Filler's mind, so just took the extra time to achieve clarity.
Tell you what, he's got to get into the cue ball nicely here. He's got to get it moving quick. Well played.
In this match, so far, Josh is the boss. He leads 3-0. Now, what about these other losers' qualification scores? Matches still in progress. Labano Marcage, now only 6-5 ahead of Sullivan Clark. Over on table 25, a relatively unknown German, Ricardo Goodjar, is 1 rack away from making the last 64. He leads Tim de Ruyter 8-5. Same score for Dennis Grabber, the Estonian, over Hubert Lopotko. Kwo Hashan Wei and Janiuski are 7-7. Knocked together a little earlier in the piece, Adam Stankovic and Georgi Georgiev. Ramazan Akdag on the hill against Michael Feliciano of the Philippines at 8-6. I'll give you the others after this rack. But for those watching in the USA, and those are fans of Shane Walford, he came through 9-3 against Nicholas Tan.
Is it the combination, blue 2 onto the green 6, or is he going to be cheeky and play it off the red 3 and pot the 2? Went for the combo. And he got lucky.
We've talked about this equation before. You could put it up on a chalkboard. Joshua Filler plus good luck equals unbeatable. Well, Koukiadakis had a touch of good fortune there. You couldn't begrudge him in the slightest.
Yeah, I expect a good safety to be played here, though. We know the middles are tight, but I think Josh is more than capable of slotting this one home. It's not bad, is it?
Well, when it comes to pure potting, I think you and I both agree, well, he's the best. But the centre pockets, as you say, require A1 accuracy.
Yeah, they're catching some of the players out. I mean, he was never going to pot it after you bigged him up, Phil. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say, you never pot it if you hit the far jaw on those, but thinking about it, you never pot it if you hit the near jaw either. There's no room for any kind of misjudgment. That won't do.
Just needs to miss the purple. Yeah, that just meant he could get his hand on the table. He's going to have to play a long draw shot here. How pure did he hit that ball?
Just class, wasn't it? No clapping in the audience. It most certainly deserved it. 3-0 is about to become, yes, 4-0. Totally monopolising this match. Winning in every department. Okay then, the scores in losers qualification. Simon Corral and Mikola Moroz 3-3. Elliot Sanderson 5-2 up on Badr Alawadi. Gary Wilson, he's on a tear. He was 3-1 down to the U Riteng. He's won 6 consecutive racks. So 2 away from victory at 7-3. Naoki Oi, he's looking to go back-to-back, winning in Finland, maybe here in Germany. He's got his work cut out. He's 7-6 down to Mickey Kraus. Lu Wei Chan on the hill against Ian Pikenyak at 8-6. Matthias Snigotsky 4-1 up on James Arenas. Lin Tali 7-3 over pair Francesco Garcia. Tobias Bongers 4-2 on Yuma Dorner. Max Lechner 6-0 up on last year's runner-up Anton Raga. And John Morrow 5-2 on Wong Kok Wang. Well, there's the two. Can you say that's playing ball, Carl?
No, I don't believe you can, but what I can say is it's a great break, wasn't it? One ball straight in that side. He's got such an easy safety. Lock him up on top of the purple 5. Well, that lacked a little bit of something. I thought he was going to stun it off 2 rails, to be honest, but never mind. He has got the hook, though. You can see Kostas going for the jump cue.
We don't see him very often centre stage, if at all. Koukiadakis. That, plus the fact he's playing Joshua Filler, both daunting.
Cue ball needs to slow down. Yeah, it was tracking towards the corner, but it's okay. You'll be happy with that. It's gone wrong, and it's gone wrong by a long way. Looked like a Tuesday night local pool hall shot, that one.
And now to stand any chance, Koukiadakis has to start potting balls and making his presence felt.
There's one decent shot from the purple 5 after he's potted the red ball to get on the green 6. Might be tempted in the combo as well. It's near the pocket. Yeah, just coming over the left side of the table, hoping for choice of pockets. He's landed too near the 6 ball, though. Good pot. Good recovery.
This would be a desperately needed dish. He's well on the way to achieving it. Joshua Fuller monopoly on racks 1 is about to be broken. Well done to Kostas Koukiadakis. It's now 4-1 to the German giant. Labino Marquage and Sullivan Clark are 6-6. Real battle there on table 2. On table 25, Ricardo Goodjar still on the hill, but Tim de Ruyter refusing to wave the white flag. It's now 8-6 in favour of Goodjar. 8-6 also for Dennis Grabber over Hubert Lopotko. Adam Stankovic and Georgi Georgiev 4-4. Michael Feliciano, he was in trouble, but now it's Hill with Ramazan Akdag, the Filipino, on table 11, trying to pull out a comeback victory. Simon Corral 4-3 on Mikola Moroz. Elliot Sanderson, he's going nicely now, 6-2 on Badr Alawadi. The run of Gary Wilson is over. He won 6 consecutive racks to turn a 3-1 deficit into a 7-3 lead. And now Liu Riteng is back to 7-5. And Naoki Oi, 1 rack from defeat. He trails Mickey Kraus 8-6. And because it's a freshly minted result, I will give you this before we concentrate on this rack. Liu Wei Chan has beaten Hyen Pekenyak 9-6.
Dry break. Let me rewind. He's made the 8 ball. Good news, he's got a shot on the 1 ball. Awkward though, because I think when you put the 1 ball here, the cue ball wants to hit the brown 7, so you've got to kind of judge your cannon for the edge of that ball. It can always catch you out. Filler's actually very good at this type of shot. Does it sneak round the back? I'm not so sure. Yeah, he's judged it well. See what I mean? Just off the edge, and he put a bit of left on it, knowing that when he cannons off the brown 7, once it hits the top rail, it wants to pull over to the left side of the table.
His problems created there by catching the 2 ball, even though he potted it too thick.
Wants to go off the side rail, bit of right and spin, hit the 3 full and try and get the 3 on the left rail. Too hard. didn't kick and stick as well. It's a shame.
Well, a shame is followed by a shock. The 3-ball remaining on the table. Filler disgusted with himself.
Yep, a little bit of pace, and you catch that long rail, they just stay over the pocket. See the odd ones missed of this type of shot. This is to punish the mistake from your opponent. Big pot. Wow, he's fluked it, Phil. What about that?
Compounding the feelings of frustration Fuller's having at the moment. What a fluke. And it was apparent he was going to make it almost immediately. At 4-0, I had the feeling this might be an inevitable runaway for Joshua Filler. Not anymore. A combination of a bad miss from the German and then some luck for the Greek, and it's 4-2. Some big outcomes are in the pipeline here, you know. Fitim Haradinaj leads Eklund Kachi 5-1. Max Lechner 7-1 up on Anton Raga. Raga was 7-0 behind. Kachi's had a pretty poor couple of hours. Thrust onto the loser's side and now in early trouble again. Remember, Kachi was within a rack of being world champion.
Well, the fluke, when he missed the pink 4, helped him win the previous rack, which meant he got the break. And look at the break, look at the split here. It was a good hit. Potted the 1, he's got a shot on the 2-ball, and well, they're all there.
The feel of this match is now very different from what it was at 4-0. Very different.
Got to keep the pressure on now, don't you? We keep thinking he's going to run the table and it's 4-3, but something always seems to happen, and he's lost the cue ball there, so he's still got to try and take care of this. He's put the extension on the bottom of the cue as well.
Well, he didn't fluke the 4 this time, but the cue ball again, just floating on and on. Okay, the 5 will cut, but it's not agreeable in terms of shape on the 6.
Chasing the finish, that's what we call it. When your cue ball is not on a string. Oh, and he's left it over the pocket. This is the problem when you're chasing, when your cue ball's not in prime location. At some point you expect the miss to come. You can't keep potting your way out of trouble.
When you're using excess side, it makes the difficulty, the tariff of the pot, so much higher. Fulda wants to just tidy up here and start to motor again. A 3-rack gap is restored. Fulda leads 5-2. Good news for a lesser-known German, Ricardo Gutjahr. He's through to the last 64, beating Tim de Ruyter 9-6. Labino Marcage 7-6 now over Sullivan Clark. Dennis Grabber on the hill against Hubert Lepotko 8-7. Joniuski is through, beating Kuo Hoshan Wei 9-7. Georgi Georgiev 6-4 on Adam Stankovic. 5-3 for Siman Corral over Mikola Moroz. Elliot Sanderson 7-2 on Badr Alawadi. Gary Wilson's lead now just slender, as narrow as can be, 7-6 over Liu Riteng. Naoki Oi has been beaten 9-6 by one of the most improved players of the year, Mickey Kraus. Matthias Nagotsky 6-2 on James Arenas. And maybe renewed hope for Eklund Kachi. 5-2 now, his deficit against Vitim Haradinaj.
Well, he's not got much going on here, has he, Joshua? It's a tricky one. Doesn't cut into that side pocket. Playing the combo is, well, it isn't going to happen, so got to think of something else. Bank it to where he was pointing his cue. Fairly hard. It will go 1, 2, 3, 4 rails onto the bottom rail, and he'll top the cue ball through, maybe stun the cue ball onto the top rail. All right. That needs to move, you know. It always just looked a little soft. Didn't really give it any, did he?
3 and the 8 did provide a barrier, but look where the 1's finished, near the pocket. Fuller can jump this in with his eyes closed.
Control on the cue ball. Not bad, is it? It's a good effort. You could argue it's run a little bit too far, but it's super difficult just to stop the rock because he had a little bit of an angle.
Was his concentration disturbed by the beeps, I wonder?
Another important rack now, isn't it? Because he's still there in touching distance.
Different ball, same pocket.
Yeah, how many times have we seen these balls missed and sat deep in the pocket? They can be awkward. Is he just trying to flick the top rail? Yeah, he was. This was not the pocket he was playing for the purple 5, but boy, will he take it.
When Koukiadakis was shaking his head, we knew that Fuller could see a piece of that 4.
I think he can just go forward a little bit. This is thin, you know. This is not easy to get on the 8 ball. I don't even know if he can hold. He's either going to have to go into the 8 or he's going to play with a bit of left and try and squeeze down the left side of the 9 and back out to centre of the table. Oh, this is class. This is really, really classy.
I was about to say he's very good at that kind of shot, but he's very good at every kind of shot. Using the looped bridge, and the gap widens. Fuller now 6-2 in front. Labino Marquage, a new name to me. I think it is to Carl Boys as well. 8-6 up on Sullivan Clark, so on the hill. It's Hill, Hubert Lepotko and Dennis Grabber over on table 4. Adam Stankovic and Georgi Georgiev. Been tight all the way through. Georgiev leading 6-5. Simon Corral 6-3 up on Mikola Moroz. Elliot Sanderson 7-3 over Badr Alawadi. It's 7-7 now. Liu, Ritang and Gary Wilson. Wilson winning 6 racks in succession. Liu hitting back with 4 on the trot. Mateusz Snigotsky 6-3 on James Arenas. And Lynn Tarlee has beaten pair Francesco Garcia 9-3.
Made the 1 ball again. His break's improved, hasn't it, Phil? In the last couple of years, he was a bit slow to the party, figuring it out, but boy, does he break good now. He's actually one of the most consistent breakers on tour now.
You could argue, Carl, it was the last piece of the jigsaw.
Just got to judge this cue ball, hasn't he? Because he's on the wrong side of the blue too. Gonna go forward, try and find a nice little gap. You know the angle's not quite there when a player takes a bit of time. And he's definitely taking his time here. This needs to go. He's played a shocker. You can see what he was trying to do, just sneak past the 9 ball.
And let's be fair, that wasn't a minuscule margin of error. A very poor one for him, and a very poor one for anyone.
Usually very reliable in hitting the ball, and he needs to hit this, he needs to get lucky. Has he fluked it? He hasn't, but it's okay, isn't it? You'd take that all day long from there.
Huge rack this for Koukiadakis. If he fell 7-2 adrift, that might be a bridge too far.
Yeah, I'm just trying to spot what the shot is here. It's a little tricky. Go bank it up towards the right. He's throwing up, he's got 2 seconds. Has he fluked it? Well, usually so good with the old shot clock management, but not very good there.
Did he just forget? Already taken his extension, so had to be fleet of foot.
Yeah, he was very nippy, very nimble around the table there. Fortunate, it has to be said. Look where it's finished.
And if Koukiadakis is left a gap, the Greek has been unfortunate. No gap, he's jumping.
Now it's a genuine chance. I was with you, Phil. 7-2. He's a big margin to come back. 6-3 with the break. Oh, you're still in it, aren't you?
Just caught a glimpse there of Alexander Kazakis in the crowd. One of two Greek players who've represented Europe in the Mosconi Cup, the other being Nikos Economopoulos.
Hanging on in. What he's doing here, Koukiadakis, he's hanging on in.
Not the cleanest of pots on the 9-ball, but it went in, and Joshua Filler's lead is trimmed to 6-3. 6-3 is also the scoreline on table 9, where Thitim Haradinaj has an advantage over Eklund Kachi. John Mora, he's now 7-5 up on Duang Quang. A lot of people in Vietnam will be very keen to see if their number one can come through. Anton Raga, so nearly captured this title last year. Made it to the final, lost by a single frame. Well, now he's a single frame away from defeat against Max Lechner, trailing 8-2. Tobias Bongers, 7-2 up on Yuma Dorna. 7-3 for Mateusz Snigotsky over James Arenas. Liu Riteng on the hill against Gary Wilson at 8-7. Elliot Sanderson on the hill against Badr Alawadi, 8-3. Simon Corral, 6-4 over Mikola Moroz. Georgi Georgiev, 6-5 on Adam Stankovic. I'll tell you about the rest at the end of this rack. Can the outsider get within 2?
Well, that's not what you want. Scratch on the break. Yeah, he just lost a cue ball. Couple of rails straight in the side. Ball in hand for Filler. Quick scan around the table. Everything looks okay. Connect the dots. Yeah, there you see his hand is quite far away. Yeah, just overrun that by a long way. Now he's just made it a little more difficult. Should still be okay, but
Remember, Joshua Filler already on the receiving end of a defeat today, 9-3 by Mustafa Alner, a match in which he lost the opening 8 racks. This isn't a crisis yet, but Kostas Koukiadakis has this 9-ball to turn up the heat. In it goes. Joshua Filler's life has just gone a little bit more worrisome. It's 6-4. He's yet to reach the single elimination last 64. Labino Marcaj of Kosovo most certainly has. He's beaten New Zealand's Sullivan Clark 9-6. Georgi Georgiev and Adam Stankovic 6-6. Simon Corral 7-4 over Mikola Moroz. Elliot Sanderson, the shouter, on the hill, doubling up on Badr Alawadi at 8-4. It's double hill. Lee Teng and Gary Wilson. Mateusz Nigotsky 8-3 on James Arenas. Tobias Bonga 7-3 over Yuma Dorner. Max Lechner is through. He's beaten Anton Raga 9-2.
it's amazing what can happen. Played absolutely awful on the TV table today, did Max Lechner. Very, very lucky boy to survive. Then he plays Anton Raga on one of the outside tables, and clearly he must have played very well.
I'll tell you what, there's quite a list of players, you know, who are going home before single elimination. Mieszko Fortunski, Piers Labutis, Mario He.
Looked so composed at the start of the match. He was composed. He looked like he was there to do the business, to show us all that his game is still there, regardless of the defeat. And that's what it looked like was going to happen, but the wheels have started to fall off. And he's putting himself under some heat now, under some serious pressure.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, Villa led 4-0 and 6-2. Yes, all good queuing over the 9, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. Oh, but the 7-ball was just when thoughts of a possible major upset were beginning to percolate. The 7 stays out.
Yeah, Josh pounces out the chair as well. He knows that was a big moment.
That will hurt Kostas Koukiadakis. It could be the beginning of the end, you know. Joshua Filler was in danger of being only 1 ahead. In actuality, he's 3 up at 7-4. Only 8 matches going now in this vast arena. Adam Stankovic of Poland, 7-6 up on Bulgaria's Georgi Georgiev. Same score for Simon Koral, also of Poland, over Ukraine's Mikola Moroz. Elliot Sanderson still waiting to apply the finishing touch against Bad Alawadi. Sanderson 8-5. 8-4 for Matthias Snigotsky over James Aranas. Tobias Bonga 7-3 over Yuma Dorna. John Morra on the hill against Duong Kwakwang. Morra leading 8-6. On the hill against Eklund Kachi at 8-4. Vitim Hardanaj. Kachi needs the last 5 racks, or the World Championship runner-up is going to be a very surprising departee on day 3.
Yeah, Vitim Hardanaj, if you remember at the World Championships, he had Filler at something like 7-1 or something ridiculous in the last 32. I'll tell you what, Phil, how far did he miss that by?
Yes, as soon as he hit it, you knew it was not on target.
Here's another look. Look where the 2 goes. Almost banks it. pros usually aim sort of far jaw. It was 3 inches away. Needs to keep going, so he's on it in the side, which he does. That's fine for Koukiadakis. He must still feel good out there, though. He must know Fulda's not quite at the races. You've got to pounce on this, though. You can't be scared out there. You just try and get the job done.
Spirited resistance. He won't go away. He will not go away. It's not 8-4, it's 7-5. And I'll tell you what, Joshua Fulda will need to tighten up in one sense and loosen up in another. Elliot Sanderson still awaiting a victory. 8-6 now over Badr Alawadi. Simon Corral 7-6 over Mikola Moroz. Adam Stankovic, same score. He leads Georgi Georgiev 7-6. Matthias Nigotsky 8-5 over James Arenas. Tobias Bongas 7-4 over Yuma Dorner. And I can tell you 2 results. John Morra has beaten Duong Kwok-Wang 9-6. And Eklund Kachi will not make single elimination. Unlike his kid brother Claudio Kachi, Eklund has been beaten comprehensively 9-4 by Fatim Haradinaj. What a list of unexpected players going out. I'll repeat: Mieszko Fortunski, Piers Labutis, Mario He, Eklund Kachi, Anton Raga. Of course, people think, well, all of the big names can't win. Of course they can't. But you don't expect that quintet all to be out before single elimination, do you?
No, I mean, it's fair to say, you know, when you look at that, Anton Raga's playing Max Lechner. Someone's got to get beat. Whoever loses that one, they're going to be on your little list, Phil, aren't they? So James Aranis is in the spot of bother, isn't he, as well?
I think it underlines the competitive nature of the World 9-Ball Tour. The biggest surprise, though, has to be Kachi.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, his fantastic run to the final. I wonder what he's been up to since then.
With a big smile on his face, looking at my computer to see the scores. Gary Wilson. I can tell him that Gary Wilson beat Liu Ritang 9-8. That's why the smile's on his face. He's through to tomorrow. Now waiting the all-important draw.
Likes a close match, does Mr. Wilson.
Joshua Filler does not want a close match here. He just wants a couple of quick racks, get the result under his belt, and start again tomorrow. When this was 4-0, he played flawlessly. You couldn't imagine he was going to be under this kind of pressure. It's not a crisis yet. We can't say that. We can't build it up to that extent. But it's uncomfortable. And I think Koukiadakis has done the right thing to leave the arena.
Yeah, even at 7-4 then. Filler had that shot on the 2 ball. I'm not saying it was easy, but you would always back him to make it. And maybe run the table. That would have been 8-4. Instead, 7-5. And he's going to have to sit and watch his opponent break the balls.
So just a handful of matches left. Not inconceivable. This one could be the last on.
Is Filler going to get a shot on the 1 ball? Yes, he is. What's the pink 4 ball saying? Needs a little bit of work, doesn't it? 3 balls near the corner, so worst case, you can drop it in and play the hook behind the 9 if you can't break it out. Got to kick into gear here for me. He needs to clear the table or play a very, very telling safety shot on the 4 ball. He'll know this. He'll know that he's at the table to get on the hill. He knows he's not playing 100%, so 8-5 in a race to 9 is good news. Well, I'm sure he's played the breakout like that, but he'll be delighted with the outcome.
But these middle pockets consistently have been difficult. Nothing is a gimme. Certainly not a shot like this.
His hand, bridge hand and his arm might all be a little bit awkward here.
Elliot Sanderson will have a new nickname for me now. Not the shouter, Subdued Sanderson. He didn't shout, even though he's claimed a very good win over Badr Alawadi at 9-6.
He's missed this. Oh, it's fell in.
I've seen balls closer to the pocket than that stay on the table. His heart must have missed a beat.
Yeah, I think the fact that he rolled it was not played with any pace. You know, he didn't stun the pot, did he? He just rolled it. Oh. Out in mouth stuff there.
The gap widens once more. Joshua Filler 3 up with a possible 4 to play. He leads Kostas Koukiadakis 8-5, but at dinner time, he's making a meal of this. Not many other matches going on now. Adam Stankovic is on the hill against Georgi Georgiev at 8-6. Simon Corral and Mikola Moroz 7-7. Yuma Dorna has just won rack 12 to trail Tobias Bongas 7-5. Matthias Snigotsky still waiting for victory over James Aranas. It's 8-5 there. That's it. Just thinking about that last 64 draw. You've won 3 matches out of 3. Got through, and then your reward, at least for one unbeaten player, will be possibly, probably, the match with Joshua Filler. But he's got to apply the finishing touch. And that does him no favours. Scratching on the break.
We can't say we're surprised, Phil. He was never going to break a run, was he?
Well, in the matches we've done today, Cole, we've done 3 of them. Break and run-outs have been a real rarity. It wasn't just the scratch, it was the fact that the balls are all there for Koukiadakis. Open table.
Yeah, an 8-6, Phil. We've seen many a match won from 8-6 behind. We really have. It's almost starting to feel like 8-6 feels a little bit like Hill these days. Loads of matches have been spun around. But he still needs to get the job done. He's made mistakes himself. It's not all been Filler who's been making them. Straight away, right on cue, he's lost the cue ball.
And at the other end of the table, you might recall, he missed a very similar shot to this. A 5-ball in rack 7. Forced to apply side. And maybe that was on his mind there.
Well, Joshua Filler will not mind this at all. He'll have been sat in his chair thinking it's going to be 8-6. So the fact that he's come out to play a kick shot, one good kick shot, he's improved at this side of the game as well, kicking the ball exactly where he wants it. Needs some help. help he has. Can he see the edge of that ball? No. Did he hit it? He couldn't have hit it because the 9's gone in. So the 9 will go on the spot.
Yes, and Joshua Fuller should have a relatively straightforward task to get this job done.
Fuller survives. He's going to have to improve though, Phil.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. It was a 9-6 combination in the end. A simple shot to complete what wasn't a simple victory. We thought it would be at 4-0. Again, it's 6-2. But Fuller is through, and he's going to be very dangerous when we get into day 4 of this European Open tomorrow. So that concludes our coverage today. Just before I go, let me run down the latest scores. Adam Stankovic 8-7 up on Georgi Georgiev. Simon Corral 7-7 with Mikola Moros. Mateusz Nigotsky 8-6 over James Arenas. And Tobias Bongers 7-5 over Yuma Dorna. To find out how they finish and how they progress, access the Matchroom Pool website and the live scoring you can find there. And of course, a little later on this evening, when all of the dust is settled, that's also where you'll find the draw for the last 64. Joshua Fuller is there. So many other big names, but the likes of Mieszko Fortunski, Pia Labutis, Mario He, Eklund Kachi and Anton Raga will not be included. They've all been eliminated. So, from me, Phil Yates, and from my co-commentators Michael McMullen, Jeremy Jones and Carl Boyes, it's a very good night. Hope to have you company in Fulda tomorrow as this tournament, the European Open, a major World 9-Ball Tour ranking event, reaches single elimination.